So this is a protein, a typical protein. And this, you see here, there is an active site. You see the groove here. Now, all this big structure is made in order to keep this groove exactly with the right size and with the right components that made it. So for those that want to know, each of these balls is an atom, and the names of the atoms are here. It's less important right now. So just to show what I'm trying to say, I zoomed into here and rotated it, and you see now the same region, but from the other side with the substrate in it. The substrate is this khaki thing. And you see that it fits exactly. If it was a little bit larger, it wouldn't fit. If it was a little bit smaller, it would flip. And then the cutting will not be correct or will not happen at all. So that's a typical protein, which is an enzyme, a cutter. So let's look at how proteins are being made in this little naive presentation. Each of these 5 guys here is representing an amino acid. There are 20 here, there are only 5. But what I want to show is enough, is shown enough here. So each of them has a main chain that I drew it as a puzzle, so it fits exactly into each other. Actually, all the main chains are the same, although I color them with different colors. I think I should change it, but I didn't. Each amino acid has a side chain, and the side chain gives the amino acid its chemical properties. Loving water, not loving water, loving each other, hating each other, whatever chemical properties they have, it's in the side chain. And some side chains are tools, biological or chemical tools. I don't know to draw a chemical tool, so I drew a normal tool. It represents the chemistry. All of these are coming together and making longer and longer chain. I omitted the details here of the properties and here all the details. And this long tail is worth when it is correctly folded with an active site. So how this is all happen, I won't talk today, but this is the idea. So the fact that all this happens was known when I started. I didn't discover anything here, but not how. Not how these know to go into each other correctly and in the right sequence. So this is what I wanted to find out. And because several world leaders in science tried to do it earlier before me and failed, it was considered that it's not possible. And I myself was not, I had many doubts, I wasn't sure. But one thing I was sure, I knew that if we make it, we will have a huge smiley. And we do. You see, even you are smiling with me. So this is the story. This step of how they come together, you see, they have to come together not only chemically to fit each other, they have to come together according to the sequence, which will give them the structure. So the sequence of the amino acids within the protein is dictated by the gene. It's made in order to get the structure, and it's determined by the gene. Each protein has a gene that codes for it. Each gene has a protein that it is coding for. DNA is a long book of instructions. Some of them, a large part of them, are genes. So it's actually DNA is a book, is a letter, and within this book, the language is of 4 letters, just 4 letters. DNA, all our life is 4 letters. So I'm still excited about it. I heard it when I was a student. This is when DNA was discovered, but I am still fascinated by the fact. Within these 4 letters, each triplet has its own protein, its own amino acid. And each amino acid has at least one triplet that codes for it. So if you let me just tell you a little anecdote. When I ask children, I deal with many, many children, really young children from the age of 6 to 16. I think that I can excite them at least at that age. And I ask them, do you know what is DNA? And they always say, yes, yes, of course. The younger they are, 6 or 7, you know what they say? DNA is the tool that the police is using to identify criminals. So this is exactly the part which is not the common genes. These are the specific genes for a human being or animal or whatever, but most of the genes are common. We all digest our food the same way and breathe the same way and so on.